Hi, my name is Jessie Adams. I am a hairstylist in Costa Mesa, California. I've been doing hair for about 10 years now. Come with me to the salon on a busy Saturday. I have a partial highlight and haircut, double booked with a bob haircut, followed by another partial and a haircut, double booked with a full highlight. So it's gonna be a doozy. I'm excited to do some beautiful hair, make people very happy, and I hope you learned something along the way. Let's go. The outfit of the day today is extremely basic. We have white Nikes, some gray jeans from Target, and a gray sweater from H&M that's like 10 years old. Here is my first client of the day. She wants to be overall brighter, brighten up her root area, and brighten up her ends a little bit. All right, we're starting. We're just doing a partial on her to brighten her up. She has a lot of regrowth. She hasn't had her color done for about probably like 6 months, but her natural is really beautiful. So I'm really excited. It's gonna be beautiful. So I'm doing a bowl of L'Oreal Blonde Studio 8 with Bonder inside, and I'm gonna put 20 volume in this one for the majority of her highlights. I'm also doing a bowl with 10 volume to use on those first foils around her face so that we don't have any breakage or damage. So her placement is going to be traditional. I'm just doing a traditional partial highlight placement because she does part her hair down the middle. So I don't need to do anything fancy. And then I am going to be packing in more foils around her face just so that she does have that like bright money piece pop still. Here you can see me foiling around her hairline. I do a little bit of a baby light on those first foils just to keep everything very blended as it grows out. I added some tip outs just to make that area around the front more solid feeling throughout her ends. There she is under there. We did the most today. As soon as I was done with my client's foils, my second client arrived, and here is her before. She kind of wanted to keep the length this appointment. We usually do a chop, but she wanted to keep the length, shaping up her layers quite a bit. She was feeling a little spicy, and she said she wanted more face frame, more texture, and I think it looked beautiful in the end. While I was finishing up the styling of my haircut, Faith got my first client all rinsed out, and we are doing her root smudge together at the bowl, and I mixed up a 7NB, 8N equal parts for her root smudge. The reason I mixed up this formula for her smudge was because I wanted the warmth and the depth from the 7NB, and I wanted the 8N to kind of keep it a little bit on the lighter side. I wanted those highlights to still be visible and kind of like transparent at the root area. Gotta get that protein. I had 1 second, so I'm eating a snack. And then we mixed up my client's all over gloss, which was a 10WG, 10P equal parts. And how satisfying is this? That gloss sit for about 6 minutes, and I was like nerding out this entire blow dry. Her color looked so good. Look at it. Wow. It's so good. We got her all trimmed up. We took about 1 inch off the length, dusted her layers, trimmed up her face frame. I waved her with a 1 1/4 inch Babyliss curling iron. This literally could not have turned out more beautiful. I am obsessed, in love, freaking out. It looks so good. Look at her after. Look at how soft the root smudge is. It just gave like the perfect little shadow at the root, so she has a seamless grow out. We still got quite a bit brighter. The tone is on point. It's just chef's kiss. My next client arrived. This was my first time doing her hair, and the goal for this appointment was just to be all over lighter. She told me that she's never been able to get as light on the ends as she's been hoping for. It always ends up pretty warm. So we went in with basically a full head of tip outs and some baby lights through the root just to kind of break that up a little bit. She also told me that she's never been able to get as bold of a money piece as she's been hoping for. So I went in pretty aggressive, and I did like 3 micro slices back to back. And then my final highlight of the day arrived, and we actually didn't end up doing a full. We ended up doing a heavy partial with tip outs so she could feel a little bit brighter on her ends. The goal for this client is literally to always just be as bright blonde as possible. You can see how tightly packed in I'm making those foils. Once I was done foiling her, we went ahead and started root smudging my previous client, and I went ahead and mixed up the same thing I did on my other client, the 7NB 8N. It's just the perfect neutral dark blonde root smudge. And I actually mixed up the same all over gloss as well. I did a 10WG 10P. Here are both of my cutie little clients at the bowls at the same time. So my client that wants to be as blonde as possible, we don't do any root smudge or gloss on her. So because of that, they were both done at the same time. So I was blow drying the client with the glosses, and Faith was simultaneously blow drying the other client. I am so obsessed with how this turned out. It's so crazy how like a little adjustment in tone can completely change your client's skin tone. Like she was meant to have cooler blonde hair. And here is my blonde client with no glosses, and you can see that her root area doesn't look stripy at all because those slices that I took were so teeny tiny fine. We're finally done, only 1 million highlights later. If you learned something today, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will have more salon content for you coming soon.